Hello everybody! Today I want to talk to you about piercing. As you noticed, maybe you didn't, I have a septum piercing, and I want to talk about the info. So if somebody is interested in doing this as well, I know I researched a little, and this is my contribution to information you can find on the internet. So let's talk about the price first. I paid $35, so it's between $35 and $40, and of course, when you're trying to pierce anything, you go to some nice shop, clean that has a good reputation, and what you need to know is your piercer needs to get the needle out that is clean out of the packaging and show it to you, like I'm using this for the first time. And you need to have somebody experienced, so don't go to your friend's house and experiment if he's not a professional piercer. So do your research about the shops where you can pierce your septum. The second thing I want to talk about is the pain. Everybody wants to know how much does it hurt, and it depends how tolerant you are. It depends how you perceive pain in your life. So when I asked my piercer what is the difference between the belly button piercing and the septum piercing, because I have a belly button pierced as well, she said that the belly button is 4 and the septum is 6, which I didn't agree after she did it. So it lasts for just a few seconds, like maybe 2 seconds, one pierce here and the other one where she or he is looking for the exit. So you're gonna feel a sting, it's gonna hurt of course, but it's nothing terrible, you will survive it, and you're gonna cry, not because you're in pain, because this nose part area is very sensitive. So I was like, my tears were dropping down, and I'm like telling to my piercer, like, I'm not crying, just so you know. And she said, I know, it happens to everybody, it's just a reflex. So it doesn't really hurt, it stings, and it doesn't hurt afterwards. Your nose will be kind of swollen, but not like visibly swollen, but inside you will like kind of feel it's very sensitive. It's just you need to look carefully and be careful with it, which comes to the next topic, and that is the healing. The healing part lasts for about a year for like complete healing. So the first day you come home, it's gonna hurt when you touch your nose, so try not to play with your ring and move it around, especially not when it's dry. So as your piercer will tell you, you need to first wet it and then clean it with soap. I use like the mild soap for it, and then you kind of, when it's like all soaped up, you kind of move it around just to clean everything. And then after a couple of days, I don't know how he tells you, just do what he tells you. You're gonna start cleaning it with the mix of distilled water and salt. Use Himalayan salt, I use that. But listen to your body, that's the most important part, because when I started using the salt and water, my septum piercings started to get kind of irritated, and I stopped using it. It was fine for me, because it was too much, and I started using it not only once a day and then once in 2 days, and then I stopped. So it heals pretty fast. After maybe 2 months you can change your original piercing. I waited for like a few months. It's a long story, I wrote a blog about it, but anyway, I waited for like 5 months, and then I changed it into a little circle, like an infinity ring, and I really loved it. And this is my third ring. So it's been more than a year since I pierced my septum, and it's healing really well. And what I need to tell you is that I twisted around in my nose because it was easier for me. When you're taking off your clothes, you can just hit your nose, and that kind of is unpleasant, especially if you do this with the earring, just it hurts. So the next thing I want to talk about is crooked piercing problems. Now this is like one of the biggest problems you can have besides infection. But let's just hope you're not gonna get infected, if everything is fine, if your piercer is licensed, if he knows what he did, he's clean, and you're keeping it clean. Do not touch and play with your, fresh piercing. So crooked piercing, I had this problem. I was devastated. So after piercing my nose, after maybe a few weeks, I would put my piercing, my ring down to clean it, and I would notice it's just like this. One of my balls was like up and one was down, and it was just not good for me. So I was like, oh my god, it's crooked. So I started researching about crooked piercing and how you can fix it. And I saw like that you should like pull it or sleep with the bandage across it, like pulling it down. And let me tell you, if your piercing is, if your hole is crooked, if a piercer did this, then you cannot do anything about it. You cannot pull it and to fix it. You can take it out, let it heal. It heals really fast, and let it heal, and then pierce it again. That's it. But I recommend waiting. What happened to me is that my piercing was not crooked. It was actually the tissue, the scar tissue below this hole. It was a bump underneath it. So because your nose is like kind of swollen, even after 6 months, 7 months, it pushed my hole, this right hole, up. So it appeared to be crooked. And then after like I changed this other piercing, and my nose kind of started healing up to a year. Now it's completely healed. So it actually went down when this little tissue got calmed down. So it's straight, as you can see it. It's completely straight. So just wait for it a little bit. If you're sure that your piercer did the right thing and you checked the line that he made, like he's gonna make a line here to see if everything is fine, he's gonna ask you to check it. So wait a little bit. If it's still crooked, then take it out and do it again. No big deal. And I wanna tell one more thing about, younger people that are like, do it and their parents want them to take it out, and they just want to, like, instead of like putting it in their nose, they're asking, can I just take it out for a few hours and then put it back? You cannot. When your septum piercing is pierced like fresh, if you take it out, it will heal, and you should not like play with it, put it in, put it out. So let me just tell you, this is after a year. You can just take it out and take it in very easily. You don't even need a mirror unless you're like having some complicated piercings. So this is a clicker and it's done. So after a year, I go to work, I can take it out and just put it away, and then when I'm leaving work I can put it on again. So I hope that this information was valuable to you, and if you have some extra questions, please comment down below and like, share, and maybe you can tell me what next you want to hear me talk about. Have a nice day. Bye bye.